Good morning. This is the Curly Cue Ball, the sit down comic. And I'm coming to you live from Caldwell, Idaho. And so, here we go. One day at a time. Yesterday, I pretty much didn't do anything. I went over to Boise to drop my son off at the airport as he was flying back to New Jersey. And he lives on a boat that we were able to go see him last October, and got to tour the big city and of the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, and then my goodness, we did a lot of things. We took the subway and we went down to Times Square one night. We ate in a Korean restaurant where they cook right at your table, and we had let's see, we didn't do the carriage ride in the park, but we were in the park, and we were in Times Square and at midnight one night, and man, that's just what a light show on all them buildings. They got all them billboards that are electronic and change screens every few seconds, and it's just phenomenal what's going on down there. A police officer was off her horse and took my wife's picture and my son's picture standing in front of her horse, and I finally told my wife where we were at and why that gal on the horse was in that area, and we were right in front of one of these men's clubs. And so anyway, you just never know what's on the side of the road there when you get out of your car. So we did eat coal-baked pizza, coal-fired oven, and that was delicious. And man, we just, if it was to do, we took the ferry over from New Jersey and took the subway back. And one day we went out fishing underneath the statue, and it was the first day for some kind of fish, and stripers, and striper season, and we caught a bluefish, could be called an alligator blue, and it snapped onto my finger, and its tooth got hooked in my fingernail and my thumbnail or something, and we had to get some pliers to pull the fish off my finger. Anyway, we did that all on my son's boat, and we slept on his boat. And then we went down to Maryland and went to one of them places that you buy a big, huge plate of crabs, and they put paper on the table, and you crack crabs for 3 hours trying to get enough to eat on that. And my wife, she didn't want to have any crabs, so I says, they got a really nice looking prime rib here, if according to the menu. Sure enough, they brought out this big, huge 22-ounce prime rib for her, cooked just right. And here we're looking at her eating that prime rib, and she's looking at us eating the crab, and she's just laughing at us that we had to enjoy that crab while she got to enjoy that prime rib. But we took it home for breakfast, and we all shared it then, because she didn't quite get much of it ate. But that was quite a bit of meal for one person, 22-ounce prime rib. And so anyway, we had, she just said the best ever, and it was delicious too. And anybody that thinks the East Coast is just one big city, like us Idahoans, we're really ignorant of what it looks like out there. But they have a lot of countryside and a lot of farming going on, and the coastline is just fabulous. In October, it's kind of bleak, but they were rolling up the sidewalk, or the boardwalk, when we were out there. But we were able to go to a few little amusements, went into the Believe It or Nots, and did that, and museum things, and was really a lot of fun. The beach was really cold and windy, but we did get to go out, catch some flounders on a boat, and it's one of them deals you pay, and they take up to 30 people out at a whack, and a big flat was a houseboat without the house on it actually, and but it did have a roof and keep you out of the sun. And but you dropped your line and then caught a few fish, and then we'd move to another spot. And flounders are fun to catch. So anyway, we didn't catch a keeper, but we did all catch fish. And so my brother came up from Atlanta. He had just got married the week before. Well, he got married, I think, on Tuesday, and came up and met us up there on Friday. And had his own little condominium unit there, and we had one. And we were the downstairs people, and they were the upstairs people. But we both had our own private patio decks there with hot tubs. And anyway, hi to Mary, his Irvin's new wife, and we hope them a long and happy life together. And so she was from Jamaica, and it got citizenized, and she'd come up through New York and then back down the coast. But she had spent a couple trips over seas to as a missionary. So and a lot of our religious beliefs were very, very similar, and so we had a real blessed time enjoying visiting with her and having some devotions together, and so we just hope that they are able to enjoy each other and have a very long relationship till death does we parts. And so anyway, welcome to the family, Mary, again, and Irvin. You guys enjoy your life, and so anyway, I went down to the food bank yesterday, and that's why I didn't publish anything, because when I got back, I just conked out and took a nap, and that was the end of me. And so if you've never worked at a food bank, you might want to volunteer. You just have to be there a few hours and give stuff. And the one I'm at, there's the state's food bank system supplies food to the food bank, and the people that put this food bank on have a refrigerated truck, and they go over and pick stuff up in Boise, bring it back to Caldwell, and then they have a cooler system and whatnot, so that works out great. And then so as people come through, they go through a line, and we have enough grocery carts that as people can go through line and go back out to their car, there's enough carts that everybody can push a grocery cart through. And pretty much everybody's getting a pretty full grocery cart full of things that were donated. And there's other places that donate too, besides just the state food bank. But anyway, it's really a fun thing, and oh, it's just amazing. At Thanksgiving, or I wasn't there for Thanksgiving, Christmas, we were handing out turkey breasts that were frozen. So you got that quarter of the turkey was just the breast cut off with the bone still in it. Then they got a tub of frozen, or no, it wasn't frozen, plastic tubs, packaged food. One of gravy, one of mashed potatoes, and one of stuffing. And so each day we handed out over 200 meals of that, 2 days in a row. And they had more to give out the next week even for a few more people. And so the other day they were handing out hams, canned hams. And yesterday I got the privilege of handing out these 5-pound sacks of instant potatoes, and just had a blast. People are interesting to watch come through, and we you turn around and they're snitching stuff out of boxes when nobody's looking, or and then just a few people do that, but most people are, you try to give them what they have coming, or what we're trying to give so much to each group, and or size of family, and a lot of people just don't even take all that's offered on certain things, but you get the whole gamut of people's personalities, and it's so much fun to be able to see them smile, and being a sit-down comic, I try to make them smile when they come through my area, and anyway, out of the thousands of people I've handed food to so far, I don't know that I've had a grump, except for myself. And so anyway, that works out pretty nice, being able to give stuff away. And so that's what I did yesterday, and so didn't get a whole lot done, but that was a fun part. My wife, she's had a cough and whatnot for the last few days, and real tired, so I think it's a lot of letdown from having the folks here for the last 5 years, two full years with my mom. She was my foster mom, and we were able to call her mom she raised me for 12 years. So she was mom, and so it was mom and Carl, because Carl moved in to our situation, and they got married 6 months before the end of the first 12 years I lived with her, and so it was always mom and Carl, and of course she passed away after staying with us 2 years, and then he just passed away here a couple weeks ago. So it's been an emotional roller coaster, and I guess being tired and stuff after somebody passes is part of the grieving process. I read a brochure about it today, and so I'm right on track with the normalities of grieving, which there are real no normals. Everybody's going to do it a little different, and so just as long as you realize that, and don't think there's something wrong with you because everything's not the way you used to be, feeling wise, you'll be a lot better off with your grieving process. So okie dokie. I guess I've rambled on long enough. I didn't have very much. I was going to talk about the golden rule, and which everybody knows what the golden rule is. He who's got the gold makes the rules. And Christ disagreed with me, of course, and said, do what you want other people to do for you, go do that kind of stuff for them. And so that's the really crux to the Bible, and that's my religious belief, is be nice to people. There you go. The Bible in a nutshell by Curly Q Ball, the sit-down comic. Have a good day.